Welcome to the post-game press conference between the London Lions and Turk Telekom, where Turk Telekom came out on top with a huge road win. We are joined by Coach Can, and before we open up any questions to the press, we're going to start with an opening statement by himself. Coach, all you.
Hello, good evening. I would like to congratulate both teams, first of all, because London Lion teams really had a great fight on the court. I think the rebounding battle on the court, especially giving up offensive rebounds, was the negative side for us. We gave up 17 offensive rebounds, but we pushed our opponent to make 15 turnovers. So we kind of balanced the possession battle. And then was good one for us was we were aggressive attacking into paint, so we draw the more fouls than our opponent. And end of the day, it was a very important on the road win for us, but end of the day, it's just one win, and it's such a long way to go. We need to improve definitely our defensive concentration on the board, and offensively, the way we share the ball and making the decisions, we need to get better. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Now we're going to open it up to the press. If you can please state your name and who you're associated with.
Good evening, Coach.
Good evening.
Congratulations firstly on the win.
Thank you.
My name's Ayo. I'm representing Basket Inside from Italy. Firstly, you employed a full court press early on in the game.
Yeah.
Why do you feel that was necessary? When I spoke to Carl Alexander, he said it's part of your identity. I was wondering if you can elaborate on that.
That's definitely, I try to build that identity for my team, because for us, as you see, all the games we won, we contribute the advantage with the defensive aggressiveness. And this was one of the game plan that we have. And then through the game goes, you try to make the adjustments. And end of the day, we did a lot of switching defense and tried to be aggressive on the ball as well. But yes, this full court pickup and press work, we try to build that ID for us.
The high-low that you were using again early on was something that was, textbook and real sort of high IQ excellence. So why did you feel that was necessary, and why did you feel it would work?
Because we knew our opponent. First of all, London team last week beat Chemnitz team, which is a high-scoring team, and they kept them only 68 points, 67 points, I believe. And all their game plan was depending on that switching defense. And I think for us also playing against their switching defense, because they try to front the low post, and because of that, it's a little bit technical detail, but after they front the low post, we try to provide the flash from weak side to create the right triangle and passing angle. End of the day, we couldn't make shots. This is why we try to make a solution playing with two big men. So Kyle Alexander and Chris Bankston playing together was effective for us, especially against their switching defense.
The three-point shot wasn't going down early enough in the game, but then you improved throughout the sort of second and third quarter. What do you feel was helping the players get back into their rhythm?
I mean, to be honest, three-point shot is not going well since the beginning of the season for us, to be honest. If you check, our three-point percentage is really low. We find open looks, but we couldn't make. But we will work on that. The only way to improve is go to court and work. That's the thing. This is why we need to change the plan a little bit more and being aggressive attacking on the paint and sharing the ball better.
And if you don't mind, lastly, that third quarter obviously was almost a turning point for the team. There was bleed over from the second quarter. You were turning the screw and really changing the momentum in the game. What was a conversation that you were having with your troops at halftime to say, keep going on? But what specifically were you saying?
Specifically, I called my guys, it's not acceptable to have in 20 minutes to give up 10 offensive rebounds against our opponent, because we were defensively solid, but we kept giving them second chance points. And that's why game was, even we were up, but we received 42 points. I believe at least 10 of those 42 because we gave up offensive rebounds. So we talk about that, and end of the day, it worked okay, because end of the day they had 17 offensive rebound, but we pulled our aggressiveness up. I think that was the key. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thanks for the questions, by the way, because I really always want to say that whenever I go for the press conferences, when you guys asking these kind of basketball questions, I feel great because that's culture. So thank you for being over here, asking questions about basketball. Let's make our job much more valuable. Thanks for that.
Thank you, Coach.
Done.
Welcome to the post-game press conference between the London Lions and Turk Telekom, where the Lions suffered a hard home loss. We're joined by Coach Sabonis and Joel Scott. We're going to start by opening statements from both of them and then open it up to the press. Coach, you got it first.
First of all, I want to thank the fans for coming. It was a bigger crowd, and we really felt it. And in the third quarter, they gave us a little bit of a roar when we made a run. So that was a big shout out to them. Hopefully, they keep coming and more people come. Obviously, we have to do a better job to do a better game. Regarding the game, I mentioned it already. We weren't ready for their physicality. We weren't ready for their rebounding. 11 offensive rebounds, but I think they converted 18, 20 points off offensive rebounds, so that really hurt us. And then obviously controlling our turnovers. Our turnovers really hurt us. Like I said, in the third quarter, we kind of brought it, but we already gave them blood. They already felt it that they were playing. Allman had a great game, and it was tough to stop up such a, let's say, experienced team with high profile players.
Yeah, what Coach was saying, we really felt the fans. It was big time that we had them coming out tonight. So hopefully that keeps up, and like we put on a better game next time. But with the game, I think it's a tough one, but it's a learning experience. I think we know what we need to do, and I think it's just mistakes we made. And like I said, we know what we need to do to fix it, and it's just about coming out prepared and hitting first and keeping our foot down and doing what we do.
We're now going to open it up to the press. If you can please state your name and who you're associated with.
My name's Dwayne. I'm from Crano Sports. So Joel, so it was a tough battle inside. Obviously, Coach touched on expecting the physicality. I mean, how did you feel, obviously on the floor, in terms of the physicality that they brought? I mean, how did you feel that yourself?
I mean, like they just out rebounded us. It's pretty simple. I mean, we didn't box out like we needed to. We didn't keep them off the boards. We gave them too many second chance points, and it really showed, and it hurt us. And so, it's one of those things that we got to take pride in. We got to take pride within ourselves, and hitting our guys, making sure they don't get the ball. And everyone's got to do it. It's a team sport. All 5 guys on the court got to do it. So we got to take pride in that and do it better next time.
Commiserations to both Coach and Scott. Coach.
Just before we start, if you have any more questions for Joe,
Oh,
so he can just go and he can shower and go home.
sure. Do you know what? I will ask you. So I'll ask you what I was going to ask Coach actually. They Turk Telecom employed a very early in the game, a full court press, and it seems to be something that a lot of teams are sort of gunning for you. Opening up that full court press, challenging you with that full court press. Do you feel that was something that kind of took you off you guys' games, and was something that troubled you early on?
I don't think it troubled us. I think we're getting better at preparing for that, and I think we know that teams want to do that with us. We had one game early on where we kind of got stunned a little bit with the press, and I think we know we're a high level team. We're smart enough to kind of figure it out now, and now it's just capitalizing on it and finding out if they're going to do something like that, it's taking care of the ball and getting them out of it quick. Get some quick buckets and getting them out of what they're trying to do, and just like I said, taking care of the ball. That's going to be a huge thing for us.
And lastly, just kind of going back to the whole physicality topic of discussion. Again, Telecom, they used a lot of high-low actions in the first quarter, second quarter. Do you feel that was, again, going back to the whole physicality thing, something that was bothering you and something that, well, not bothering you personally, but bothering you as a team or even as a front court, was something that was an issue that would, that caused them to, again, get back into the game and push ahead?
I don't think it was a problem. I think we know what we need to do. We have our game plan, and kind of like what I said about rebounding, we have to take pride in what we do. We gotta know that this is our game plan. We gotta control it, and do our things well, do our things better than they do theirs. They're gonna prepare. They're gonna be ready for what we do. We just gotta do it. Take pride. Be physical, and not let them do it to the best of our ability, and cover for each other and stay together as a team.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
See you, Joe.
Hi, coach. Again, commiserations on the loss. After two straight wins, this is a tough loss to deal with, especially in front of home fans. What's the message to your team going into the next game? And obviously, hopefully, this doesn't bleed into domestic play in the SLB.
Joel put it very well. It's a good learning experience. Obviously, you don't take losses; you just learn from them. So we need to be better. We got to watch film, see what we did wrong, physicality, being ready for the game, turnovers. Everything hurts. One-on-one defense, everything that we coaches try to prepare them. And again, there was a fight, but 31 points and 27 points in the second and third quarter. That's tough to come back. And again, in the third quarter, there was a moment that we showed a little spark, but against a tough team, a good team, a high veteran team, we need to be better. And again, I said it, we have to rewatch the game and watch film with the players.
I kind of reported earlier, well, actually during the game, that because because you guys were struggling from the free throw line, it could come back to bite you in the end. How do you kind of go by kind of rectifying and see if you can kind of turn that around and rectifying the kind of free throw issue? Yeah. And how do you feel that contributed?
We work on it every day. I don't know how to explain to them more that they have to go every day at practice and shoot those three throws like it's their life dependent on it, like their sons, their sisters, their mothers. I don't know. Every three throw, it's like my father used to say. It's a free point. It's free. There's a point. There's free in the word, and we missed 9 again in a game that we lost by 12. It means a lot. Adding 6 more turnovers than them. That's a lot of possessions where they got the rebounds. It's a lot of stuff where, against good teams, you just, you can't be the Santa Claus team, and just give up so many presents to other teams, because good teams, they don't give you. But again, we got to keep working. The guys have good attitude. We got to learn from this and we got to get better.
And coach, just you touched on the turnovers there. I mean, would you put that more down to the decision making of the players, or was it just Telecom's pressure was just too much? Would you say?
I mean, you guys would keep saying about the pressure. I don't think the pressure was that big of a factor. They did, obviously. I think the big man lineup they did when both centers, that really threw us off. At the same time, we had Cam and Tyreek with foul trouble, so that little 5-minute sprint was very, very not beneficial for us. But I mean, turnovers is the same thing as free throws, man. You have to take pride in the ball and taking care of the ball. The ball is energy, the ball is love. And if we give it up so many times, in situations where we have a fast break or we have an advantage and we, do a traveling, you don't even shoot up the ball. You don't even give yourself opportunity to get a rebound, So, but regardless, again, in the last quarter, we did find a lot of open shots. We didn't hit them, that's part of basketball, But we got to take pride defensively. I said 31 and 27 in the second and third quarter. That's unacceptable for us.
One additional question, coach. This about Ethan Price. You've shown a lot
I'm
of.
very happy with Ethan.
Yeah, no, you have shown a lot of courage in him, and how is that going, and how
It's good.
How much
He's a great
is
kid.
he
He's a
improving?
hard worker. He's smart IQ. He takes pride in what he does, and I couldn't be more extremely happy with him. He's got a long way to go. He's got to keep working. He's got to still, wait for his minutes. Today he gave us a big spark. Last game in Caledonia. He's got to take this with pride and don't take it for granted, and strive for the best that he can be. And we got to do a better job. Everybody to me included to find him more minutes.
Do you think he's come further than you expected at this point, or is he doing exactly what you thought he would be doing at this point?
I think he's doing what he's got to do. Everything takes time, and he's taking the right steps. It's the right attitude, the right mindset. And again, like I said, I think everybody, the coaching staff, we're happy with him. But with that said, he still has to keep pushing, keep getting better. And the sky's the limit.
That's all for today. Thank you, Coach.